is a show that focuses on the person behind the Brony. I'm your host, OsakaJack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest Brony. Hello everyone, this is OsakaJack with Into the Spotlight on Everfree Network. Today with me, I have someone that you have probably follow on Twitter. Because seriously, if you don't, what's wrong with you? What? I don't follow your logic. Seriously, follow this guy. Wait, I say that at the end of the interview. I'm sorry. Okay. Buttons. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing all right for the cats waking me up at 5 a.m.
Yes, they do that. Is it a purposeful 5 a.m. every day or just a little early today?
Oh, it's fine during the week because, I got to get up and go to work. But on the weekends, I wish they would realize that I'd like to sleep.
Yes, that weekends and daylight savings time are difficult things to explain to a kitty. I'm sure right now it's not a problem for you, but in 6 months, they're going to be waking you up and like, I've got an hour, please.
Well, actually, they would have woken me up at 4 o'clock in the morning if it had been, 6 months from now. So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
Mine is fine as long as I provide food before I go to sleep. Otherwise, I will have something standing at the foot of my bed saying, meow, 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 what do you want? Meow. I know it's food time. Can I sleep for 20 minutes? Meow.
That sounds like almost every cat I've ever owned.
Yep, pretty much.
Now, let me rephrase that for the listeners. You don't own a cat. You are owned by the cat.
Indeed. Yes. At best, you cohabitate with the cat. I mean, it's all lovey-dovey once she gets the food. Like, oh, pet me. Oh, I'm going to purr. I'm staying in your lap. That's fine. But yeah, that's after food has been provided.
Yes, until then, you're not worthy.
No, not at all. Until then, you are not behaving as we have agreed on. You give me food, I give you love and attention, and scratch you sometimes.
And bite you.
Which is actually remarkably similar to a few relationships I know of. But anyway.
That's a road I don't think we should be going down.
Indeed, yes. Moving on. Sorry. Well, I mentioned it just slightly, but it seems to be one of your strongest presences is on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not much in the way of being able to draw unless you want a stick pony. I don't compose music, although some people say I can sing. And no, I'm not going to do that on this show.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty much a rambunctious, silly person on Twitter, and I'm surprised as many people follow me as do. Since I seem to spam quite a few people's lines a bit, so.
Everybody's free to unfollow if they don't like what you're saying, and that goes for everybody.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will hold no rancor for that. Because I certainly am not going to change.
This interview is being recorded. It's just March 16th for me, but yesterday I had a long conversation with my mother explaining Pi Day to her, how she was in 314. And she thought it was hilarious that there would be such a nerdy holiday. And I expressed, I also told her about the Star Wars holiday that happens on the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
So when you said Rancor just then, my mind instantly went to Jabba's little walking monster that was somehow beaten by a bone shard.
Well, actually, the bone shard kept him from biting down, and then the heat, and then Luke made the door come down on his head.
That's true, yes. Because really, if you want to have an emergency, put the door down fast button, you want to put it on the inside of the monster's cell. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's science fiction.
Yes, that's true. Very true. I shall not nitpick very much further. But.
I will have to say though that I did not care for the re-releases of those movies in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I preferred the original effects, and I didn't like what Mr. Lucas did to the re-releases. So.
I have VHS copies of the original 3 without any editing, without any re-releasing. The only problem is they have Japanese subtitles, but still, worth it.
Hey, if I can learn how to read Japanese,
The sound is in English, so it doesn't matter, but just, still good. Do you happen to remember, when did you start Twitter? Or what was...
I started Twitter slightly before the con which shall not be named.
Okay. Le Poo?
I'm sorry?
Le Poo?
Yes, and it turned out to be that, sadly.
Yes.
I started it with no intention other than following some members of EFN.
Okay.
Like Final Draft. At the time, no offense, I didn't know you. I didn't know you were a part of EFN.
That's all right. No
Screwball, and Dusty Cat were the original reason that I started looking into EFN at all. For some reason, I found Stay Brony, my friends, and started watching it. And then I found EFN and found everything else on EFN and started watching and following that. And it's been a good ride, and I hope it continues for quite some time. You guys put on some great stuff.
That is the hope. It's hoped that we'll be able to continue. That would be nice.
Yeah, I also got on Twitter to follow the VAs because I found out they were on there.
Well, yeah. Most of them.
Yeah, the main...
I know. When Le Poo started, not all of them were, but now just about all of them are.
Tabitha wasn't, and Ashley wasn't. I believe the others were, correct?
Yes. Well, the main ones, yes. Yes.
Maybe Vincent Tong wasn't, and a couple others weren't. But yeah, the ones that I knew about, like Tara and Andrea, and Peter New, I think were there.
Right. So. Right. Yeah, and recently we've gotten just one of the better ones, in my opinion. We finally got Graham Birche. We finally have Pip.
Yes, I have to agree. He did a stellar job.
Yes, indeed.
And I hope that they put him back in the show. I think the pairing of, although I don't do shipping and I'm not really fond of it, the at least on show friendship pairing of Sweetie Belle and Pip would amuse me.
Yes, that's true.
Sweetie Belle's squeaking just is adorable. I've thoroughly enjoyed the time that I've spent with MLP, and some of the people that I found in the fandom are just fantastic. And I'm not talking VAs and that. I'm talking just normal fans of the show.
Well, I mean, we are talking normal fans as well, but at the same time, you have quite a few of the show staff following you.
I do. It's not something that I care to advertise or talk about, simply because it's just that it's something that should be used as. I mean, and I'm not trying to be offensive by saying this or anything, but it's not. I don't want to prop myself up with that, because it's they're doing it because for whatever reason, something I've said or done they have found interesting, or I don't know. I don't know how to put that.
No, it's nothing to be embarrassed or necessarily brag about. It's just something I'm mentioning.
Yeah, that's true. I just felt like saying that I don't really think it's. I try to respect them.
Yeah.
I don't DM them haphazardly. I don't. I don't
send in bribes.
Try to get them to talk to me, and if they don't answer a tweet, I don't take it personally, because I know they get yanked 7 gajillion ways.
Sure.
But to me, it's a big deal to respect them and what they do.
Yeah.
I'm appreciative of them being on Twitter, and I'd like them to stay.
Yes, and that's much easier if people are very respectful of them.
they give to us so much that they don't have to give. I mean,
Yeah, that's very true.
even a tiny little glimpse into their life is more than they have to give us.
Right, right.
So, I mean, I've seen people, and not mentioning names, but I've seen people be very forward with them, and I'm just like cringing when I see that.
Yeah,
like,
it's something that's better to not do. I understand enthusiasm. Enthusiasm's good, but yeah, be respectful.
Sorry, I kind of went in a place I guess I didn't mean to go there.
That's
but
okay. No. Well, something that I would like to mention, because I believe you started it, but it kind of caught on quite a bit, is pizza.
Yeah, I was the originator of that in a way. I did not suggest vining it. That was, I think, either Jack Shang,
Mm-hmm.
who I think does things for EFN, and or Screwball at BronyCon. I just did it for fun, and they were vining it, and then it kind of went from there.
It exploded. It went. This is one of the actual true cases of going viral. It was something small that was funny, and then it became really popular, and lots of people liked it on accident. That's what viral means, marketing people. You cannot make something go viral.
Is that my 15 minutes of fame?
Oh, I hope not. I don't think so. We'll call it the first 8 seconds. It'll be your intro music.
It flabbergasted me when I saw the VAs doing it.
Yes. If anybody is not familiar, can we describe it real fast for what it is?
Well, I don't know how to put it succinctly, but at BronyCon we ordered pizza in room, and when it got there, I opened the box and went, "Pizza!" And it just, I started seeing other people doing it.
Yeah, we've seen other people doing it, and there was a very funny Vine with, I think, most of the VAs doing it. Pizza, pizza, pizza.
I think Ashley, Andrea, Tabitha. I can't remember who was it. Was it Kelly Metzger?
I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it was a lot of them.
I was just like slapping my forehead, going, "Oh, what have I done?"
if we do it on a scale of awesome to YOLO, I'll put it well in the awesome area. Definitely not annoying.
It made my day when I saw the VAs doing it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I will admit to that.
Sure, nothing wrong with that.
Oh, that was a fun con. If you have not been to BronyCon, or BronyCan, excuse me, BronyCon is also very good. But
yeah.
If you haven't been to BronyCan up in Vancouver, great city, was a great venue, and if I get to go again this year, I will. So.
Good. And perhaps we'll see the sequel to Pizza. Let's see. What else can be delivered?
Sushi? No.
Sushi?
No.
It would need to be something original.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure there will be a sequel to that. But well, if there is, it would have to be spontaneous, because planning it just it loses something at that point.
Absolutely, yes. Unless we have you for the entire con do a video blog of trying it with every single food that you encounter, to the point where you're forced to sing every food.
That would get tedious.
Hilarious by the end. Yes, you're right, tedious, but man, it'd be funny because people would be finding you and like, "Oh, check it out! I found some hash browns. Go!" Right.
That might actually be funny, but I might get a little tired of it after about 40 times of it.
After 2 days, I can see people just like physically taking you to the supermarket and walking you through the aisles. Okay. We got tortillas here. Oh, please let me go home. Not till you sing every food. Okay.
Okay. Don't give people ideas.
I'm going to start a Kickstarter. Get Button singing every food.
Oh, I don't think I could finish that in my lifetime.
No, no, but we might get some free food out of the deal. If we can get like Frito-Lay to sponsor it or something, that would be awesome.
I am 50-ish years old. I'm not I'm not going to be alive for another 50 years.
We could do it.
I don't know about that.
Well, I would like to mention it real fast. We don't have to talk about it too much if you don't like, but your name, Buttons, where did that originate from? Are you good at sewing?
Oh, no, not unless you count sticking needles into your fingers.
No, that's acupuncture.
Back in my mid-20s, like late 80s in that time frame, I was and I still am a huge Disney fan.
Okay.
Love Disney.
Right.
And Minnie Mouse's best Disney character. Thank you.
I will agree with you, except for one point. We had a Disney Christmas album, and it was Minnie doing a solo of Noel, and was way too soprano for her. It sounded horrible.
Yeah, that I can see being a problem, but
yeah. But except for that, okay, we're good. Going on.
I used to go to the parks quite a bit from like 80. Well, I worked in the parks from 91 to 94.
Okay.
But I was in the parks quite a bit before that because I had an annual pass from like 89 to 92 before I just said forget it. I'm working here. I don't have to pay to get in anymore.
Right.
I had a jacket that was covered with Disney pins, not only just the cloisonne type, the ones with the inlaid enamel.
Okay.
But actually, buttons like you see you see the cutie marks of the ponies on that you can pin on.
Okay, I think I know what you mean.
The bottle cap type.
Okay, right.
I used to have a jacket covered with those, and it was all Disney when I went to the park. Well, the characters didn't know me at the time.
Right.
They had no idea who I was, and like most, I hate to put it this way because I don't know who's listening, but like most people, if they don't know you, they sometimes judge you based on your appearance.
Yeah, that's true.
And they speak certain nicknames out of spite or derision,
Oh yeah.
So my first nickname with them was Button Man.
Okay.
Because they didn't know who I was. They only knew me because of my buttons.
Okay, right.
Well, when I started working there and I got to know some of them, the name Buttons just stuck.
I see. Okay.
So
I'd like to hope that while they gave you the nickname based on what they could see of you, I hope it wasn't totally derisive at first. More like it's that guy again. As opposed to, that guy again.
It depends on who you talk to.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, like everything else in life, some people aren't gonna like you, regardless of
very true
anything. I still have friends to this day from Disney and characters that they call me Buttons, and they're friends. They're not calling me Buttons out of
spite,
disdain or contempt. They're calling me Buttons because that's how they know me.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
So, to me, Buttons is just my nickname now. It's just, You can call me Buttons, you can call me Dan, you can call me pretty much anything that's not derogatory, and I really don't mind.
Okay, sure.
So, but yeah, that's the origin of my nickname. And
okay. Huh. Well, and so your nickname originated quite a while ago. However, recently in the fandom, there is a character called Button Mash, who is often nicknamed as just Buttons. Has there been any mix-ups between the two of you?
Yes. First of all, let me preface this by saying that the meme Buttons' mom got it going on. Don't like it. My mom is 70 years old.
Yeah, totally understandable. Okay.
Let's leave my mom out of this. Thank you.
Yes.
and I guess if you're looking for an anecdote regarding those two items, like people saying, button mash, do you play video games? Yes, I've had that.
Okay.
And another one is when I was in a stream, and I can't even remember which one, Andrea was in the stream, and when I logged in as Buttons, somebody was already there as Buttons' mom. And Andrea said, "Is that really Buttons' mom?" No.
Though, to be honest, if your 70-year-old mother would decide to become a brony, I'm sure she'd be welcome with open arms. But I understand the confusion there. That's not what was intended, right?
My mother doesn't understand certain things that I do, and the whole My Little Pony thing and Disney thing are a couple of them.
Okay.
She doesn't judge me or
That's good.
cast aspersions upon anything, but she's just like, you're a 50-ish-year-old man. What? And right. I'm like, I like what I like.
Yep.
Sorry. I should try to get her into it, though. My brother got into it. That's amusing.
That's good. That's interesting. I don't know. I always insist, if somebody is going to show Pony to someone else, absolutely fine. If somebody is hoping that somebody else who's going to watch it will become a brony, absolutely fine. I don't like the idea that some people have said of converting, or like, no, it's not something we're trying to force people to do. It's, if they like it, yeah, come on in, welcome.
I'm going to have to say that I don't particularly adhere to the, well, this is going to sound bad, but it's not the way that it's typically meant.
Okay.
The whole saying love and tolerate, I don't really know that that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Because I don't think that I've seen a lot of people who, I'm talking about the people who want to convert somebody.
Yeah.
You're not really being a whole lot of tolerant if you're saying you must become a brony.
Right. It's kind of the opposite of what that word means.
Yeah, I would say, I hope that people, come to the pony side. If they do not, that is totally acceptable to me. That's to me tolerance of something.
Yeah.
They don't have to like what I like for me to like them.
True.
My brother was not a pony person. His daughter is, my niece.
Okay.
But his daughter absolutely adores Andrea Lipman, and if Andrea ever comes out to a con anywhere on the East Coast and I don't take her to meet Andrea, I will be in a lot of trouble. So my brother would sit down with her to watch the shows, ostensibly watch them, doing other things.
Sure.
And he slowly started watching it and liked it, and now he's walking around singing, Apples to the Core and Praise This Barn and all this other stuff. I'm like, I thought you didn't like ponies. And he said, well, I didn't, but now I do.
Excellent. Wonderful.
And he would be the first to tell you that Pinkie Pie is best pony. I, however, think Rarity is best pony.
Okay. All right. I'm going to insist that Pony is best pony.
Oh. Well, I can understand that.
That's my response if anyone ever asks me. I do have a favorite, but honestly, Pony is best pony.
Well, you don't have to like Rarity.
Actually, I should even change that, because if somebody wishes to say Chrysalis or Iron Will or even Mulia Mild, I should allow for that too. Character is best pony. There we go.
Miss Harshwinnie. There you go.
Yeah.
Although she's a little harsh for me.
I appreciate her enthusiasm after she saw the CMC routine.
Yes, I did. I did that, but it's supposed to be professional.
Rainbow Professionalism Dash.
Yes. I was on the subject of ponies. I know a lot of people didn't care for it, but I liked that Daring Do was real.
I thought it was an interesting twist. And something that I really liked, GM Barrow's book that has the Rainbow Dash Double Dare.
There, yeah.
There's a paragraph in there where somebody is just harping on Daring Do's books, and Rainbow Dash is trying to defend them, and Rainbow Dash says, "I wouldn't even be surprised if Daring Do did exist." G.M. Barrow wrote those books a good year before the episode was aired.
I wonder if part of the idea to have her be real didn't come from that.
From what I can tell, no. Apparently, when she started writing the books, her first draft, they came back and said, "Okay, you can't say this because this goes against something that's going to be aired." And I believe she said in one of her one of the cons that after that they kind of gave her the not specific scripts, but they told her what was going to happen in future episodes, so the books wouldn't contradict that again. So she knew.
Good idea. Well, she writes some excellent books.
Yeah, she does.
Once you start reading them, it's hard to put them down. So
the only problem with me is that they don't last very long. I mean, I have a 20-minute train ride to work, and one of the books will last about 3/4 of a day. About a half hour for me to read the book.
They're not really written for us. Right?
I know. I
mean,
that's why I'm looking forward to the Princess Diaries that are coming out, that Amy Keating Rogers wrote.
Yes, I am also looking forward to that. Anything that Amy writes, I have found to be excellent.
And the Daring Do series.
Yes.
Which I've already pre-ordered both, and I have to remember that this time.
The only thing that Hasbro hasn't been putting out that I want is I just purchased a Mazda 6 with navigation by TomTom in it.
Uh-huh.
I can add celebrity voices and stuff to the you can turn right in 600 yards, that directions. Yeah. I really want them to do pony voices as as the reader of the directions. Like I can just hear. I can't do that. I can't do Applejack, but I can just hear turn right in 600 yards, Sugar Cube.
I remember an interview with Andrea Libman, I think it was on EFN, they joked about that, and she said, "Oh, Fluttershy would just be terrible. Could you just turn right? If it's we missed it." And she said Pinkie Pie would be the exact opposite. Turn right, turn left. I mean right here, right. I mean left, right. Oh, okay.
I would love it.
I would love it too. I think it would be interesting. The only things that I want that have not been out there, I want a Stetson hat. I want a Stetson Applejack hat.
With a cut on the front?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's Definitely. Something I want, and every time I get a hold of somebody in Stetson to talk about it, they think I'm joking. I'm like, no, this will sell.
It would.
But no, they think I'm joking, so probably won't happen. And I would like some show-accurate puppets.
Yes. I would like Hasbro to put out show-accurate plushies.
Well, I got that covered in Japan. Woohoo! Show-accurate show plushies.
Official
ones too.
I hate going into Walmart and seeing all these pony toys and these dolls, and it doesn't even look right. Twilight Sparkle. I'm like, no, that doesn't look like the show. It looks like something I should be combing its mane and putting makeup on. That's probably offensive to somebody. Sorry.
Well, if they wish to do it, that's their business.
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
No judgment whatsoever. It just doesn't look like the show is the point that we're making.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it should.
There's a place for that kind of a toy. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But, it's just and when I put it up on my shelf, I want it to look like Twilight Sparkle.
Mm-hmm. I might not ever get around to it, but in a local hobby store, they had a section that had do-it-yourself snow globes. It had everything that you need for a snow globe. It's got the sphere. It doesn't have the liquid, but it's got the little crystals in it, and it gives you a base that you can put something on and super glue it, and then put it. And I was like, wow, I could easily fit 2 or 3 blind bags here. 2 or 3 blind bag ponies on here would easily fit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if next year I can actually have an actual winter wrap-up.
You should.
If I can find a way to get some music box made and attach it to the base, oh, that
How
would be
big is the
so
base?
cool.
How big is the base?
It's I'm trying to think of something I can compare it to. About a coffee can diameter.
Okay, so about what, 5 inches?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is it thick or is it thin?
I think
Like 2 inches, 4 inches? What? How thick is it?
2.5 to 3, I would say.
So get the right size music box. You could carve the bottom of that out
Yep,
and,
pretty
and,
much.
and mount it in there. You
Yes.
could do it.
I I mean, if I had skill, that would be an easy thing. I'm going to work on just the snow globe at first. If I can get the snow globe, then we'll move on to music box.
Well, you had to get the music box made, but I bet your Pixel Kitties could do it.
Probably.
Have you seen those books?
Yes. Yeah. The books she makes, those are amazing.
Yeah, they are. I keep looking at them and I'm like, how much? $100? I think it was 100 for the big one. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, a
good,
little high, but
good price because it's handmade. But
right.
it's like, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm still at this con for another 2 days and I need to eat. That's usually what runs through my head.
You should just get it and then just okay, 50 cents for a glance, guys.
So what now
I
I
got
can,
one of these Pixel Kitties books. I'm gonna give me 50 cents. I'll let you glance at it, and I'll use that to eat.
or I can just eat it in lieu of food.
Oh,
Gnaw on it.
that would be terrible.
She does amazing stuff. Then again, like I was telling you before, I have many of the fandom artists are incredibly talented.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, music wise and art.
Yes.
Drawing wise.
Well, even beyond art, just craftsmanship. I mean,
Yeah.
though I still admit I mentioned it a long time ago. I would love to see glass blower. I haven't seen glass blown ponies yet.
Oh,
Wouldn't that
thank
be
you. Now
amazing?
I want it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not a slight against anybody else whatsoever. The amazing craftsmanships out there. Just, I would like to see glass blown ponies.
Yeah, but how could you? You can't. I guess you could ship the finished product to a con, but you couldn't really. I can't see them doing glass blowing at the con.
No, 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 absolutely not. That would be a bit difficult. Yes, from what I've seen that's required in blowing glass. Yeah, not something we do inside, and I'm sure the liability would be through the roof.
Well, I've seen glass blowing at Disney, but that's a different thing altogether. That's
Right.
another level of. I guess you could even call Disney World a huge convention, but it's a different level of convention, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. You know what?
Permanent convention that never moves.
I wonder if we could make a pony world somewhere. Or Ponyland.
Equestria.
A theme park.
Hasbro, listen to this man. He's making sense.
There was, a few years ago, there was a city in Japan that was having a lot of financial problems. And what they did to get over these, and they did a good job with them, they sold names. If you paid a certain amount, then the park would be named after you. If you paid a certain amount, you'd get a road or
Cobblestone.
yeah, just like all kinds of things. The top level available was rename the city. If you donated enough money, you could rename the city to whatever you like as long as it's clean. And I was just thinking, if we could do a Kickstarter and just name it Equestria, that city would be able to take care of itself for as long as the show is popular.
Well, didn't they renew the series for 5 years?
Yep, this indeed.
Well, I know I'm watching it for 5 more years.
Yes, that's right, at least.
And at that, let me say to those people who snort at people who leave the fandom because they're tired of the show, just let them go.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't want to be here, let them not be here. That's fine.
Anyway, yeah, let's see if we can do a Kickstarter for that. That would be cool.
For the theme park, or for the glass blowing, or for the renaming the city?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
All of it.
Yay!
I'd love to rename that city Equestria. Canterlot.
There, stranger things have been done. I mean, there's a train station that was featured in the anime Lucky Star, and they've taken advantage of it by having like the characters show up and have tours of different locations in the anime and stuff. They've made good money on that.
Good for them.
Yeah, we could do the same thing. Granted, Japan's a little far away, but a lot of people want to go to Japan anyway.
Me being one of them.
Mm-hmm. And this could be like the kicker. You know what? Why don't we go visit Equestria while we're in Japan? Sounds good!
As long as they have Princess Celestia and Twilight and all Hasbro approved, of course.
Oh yes, of course, yes. Yeah, I'm sure Hasbro would say no to having a city named after them. Pipe dreams, but...
We all have them.
Incidentally, that would be an excellent name for an OC if anybody wants to take it. Pipe dreams.
Yes, but I don't know that I'd want that cutie mark.
Just a Mario-style plumbing pipe.
Oh, okay. I was thinking along what pipe dream really is.
I know. I know, but I was trying to steer it in a decent direction. Well, a question that I ask in each of my interviews, in all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
Wow. I it's probably something Rarity related, because every time there's a Rarity episode that she learns a lesson, she says something that gives me feels.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And usually more so than the other main six, which is why I think I like her the best.
Sure, sure.
Because I happen to like TV shows that give me the feels, even the sad ones.
I can understand it, sure. Makes sense.
I'd have to. I can't think of anything specific, and I know that's probably going to come back and haunt me as soon as we stop talking. Like the Rarity Takes Manhattan episode.
Yes.
The reprise of her song.
Okay.
Got to me. I'm not sure that defines me, but
right. Well, that can be just something that really hits you hard. That's fine.
Yeah, because I myself in my years of life have taken advantage of friends and not treated them properly, and that sort of struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of the reason why the whole show kind of strikes a chord with me, though, because a lot of the lessons that the ponies learn, I can definitely relate to in my lifetime, and I'm sure most of the older adult bronies can also relate to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's no big revelation or difference from anybody else. But
right.
I can't think of anything in particular other than her willingness to just give things to her friends.
Yeah.
The whole Art of the Dress episode.
I thought it was funny when I saw the comparisons of it showed all of the ponies yelling at Rarity from the Art of the Dress episode, and then it showed the later Manhattan episode where all of her friends are forced to make all the dresses, and it just says revenge.
Yes.
Obviously not that wasn't what was intended, but a little funny.
Yeah, I've seen that, and it was pretty humorous.
Yeah.
But I think she's a misunderstood character, and I think that people that don't like her, that truly don't like her, not the ones that she's just not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a few people that I've talked to at cons say they don't like her, don't really get the character. A lot of her, in my view, a lot of what she does is a facade to protect herself.
True. Yeah.
More than her being, petty or vain. It's more of a wall that she puts up to protect herself. That's how I view it.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the things that I relate to that probably would answer your question is, I think that a lot of my humor is more of a way to keep people not away, but at arm's length.
I can understand that, sure.
It's not. I don't have social anxiety per se, but I prefer a close circle of really good friends.
Sure, I can
And
understand.
many acquaintances that I would be friendly with. That's not a slight to anyone out there, by the way. It's just the
That's
people
how you
that
prefer, right?
the people that really know me are a very select few, and I know there are people out there that are the same. So,
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
I don't like to let a lot of people in, just because it's not necessarily
It doesn't make you comfortable, and that's in it
correct.
for a reason, right there.
Correct.
And yeah, shame on anybody who attempts to shame you for that, or anybody else. Yeah.
Shame on anybody who tries to force their way into it, and I'm sure you
Oh yeah.
probably know at least
Yeah,
one.
that's also you can't force somebody to be your friend. It doesn't work that way.
I wish
There's
people
lots
on
of
Twitter would understand that.
there's lots of times where we're like, I would really like to be that person's friend, and they're not your friend, and you say, darn, and you walk away, and that's the end of it. And that's how it should be.
Yes, it's disappointing.
Yep.
I can certainly understand the disappointment, but
Mm-hmm.
the more you try to force somebody to like you, the more you're going to push them away.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's sort of
Anybody
like,
who has a cat and who has tried to force them to eat a new food realizes they're never going to touch that again.
or force them to sit in your lap.
Yes, exactly.
Forget it doesn't happen. You either let it happen naturally or it just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
I've experienced that myself. It's sort of like that old saying: try to want it less if you really want it.
Yeah. Or I would
Uh,
say, make it so you don't need it.
that is a better way of putting it.
It would, something nice to have, but don't need it. Then it becomes something that cats want to give you,
That is
and
true.
people too.
It does work for people. It's
Though I would
amazing to
recommend
me.
not trying to scratch people behind the ears because it doesn't work as well for them. Really creeps us out.
That depends on the person.
Well, yeah, that's also true. But
um, it's just amazing to me how many people, and and this doesn't apply to the Brony fandom or anyone else. It's just they try to push their way into somebody's life.
yeah,
I never really truly understood why that happens. I can understand the impetus and the desire to have somebody, in your life, but
if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. And forcing, heck, if we want to bring it back to Pony as an example, how well did Rarity pretending to be Applejack work?
not well at all. But I loved her accent.
That was an amazing accent. I couldn't talk for a bit after she had done that. It was so funny.
I also liked it when she stuck her finger in her nose and did the donkey sound happen.
Yes.
It's like that's totally not Rarity, but it's funny.
That the only regret
I
I
mean,
have of
it's
that.
because what the writers put in the show is canon.
Yeah.
But she only did it because she was trying to get Trenderhoof to like her.
Yes.
It's not something that she would normally willingly do.
Right. The only regret I have about that episode is that I can't share that one with my students just because the accent wouldn't come through. They would get the dressing up. That they would find hilarious. But when she does the accent, which is such a huge part of that episode, they wouldn't get it at all. And it'd be like, okay.
Hey, AJ looked great in that dress.
Until she did the duck face.
Yes, but she did look great in the dress. Then again, Pinky doing the duck face in the Apples to the Core episode was sort of.
Yeah, we've had a lot of duck faces this season. We've had Pinky, we've had Applejack. Scootaloo did it when she saw the people taking her picture at the burger place.
Yeah.
So a lot of duck faces, which is funny.
Depending on who does it.
Yeah. I'm wondering if if somebody watches the show in like a decade or 15 years, I'm wondering if that is going to be something they understand. Or if it's going to be like one of those, oh, look, it's one of those early 2000 things. We don't do that anymore.
I think it depends on the age of the person, right? If you were alive during this time, you'll probably find it humorous.
Very
just
true.
as nostalgia.
Yes. Yeah.
But
guess what, kids? We're giving you something to reminisce about in your old age. I remember when duck faces were funny.
Hey, I remember when planking was funny. So there.
I don't ever remember that, and I was aware of planking. So
okay,
sorry,
maybe
that was mean. That was mean.
No, it's actually accurate.
Well, everybody,
God.
today we have been speaking with Buttons. Be sure to follow him on Twitter and Vine, too. And he has a wonderful solo album coming out later this month.
You wish.
Mostly just him singing about different foods in a few notes.
Oh, man. Tortillas!
And then we'll get the remix.
Dubstep.
Thank you so much for coming by and being on the show today.
No problem, Osaka. Thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Great. Everyone, this has been OsakaJack on Into the Spotlight with Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.